Welcome to the iOgrapher podcast with your host, Dave Basulto. Create amazing stories using your iPad or iPhone. iOgrapher Nation, get ready to click, point, and create. And now, here's Dave Basulto.
Hey everyone, Dave Basulto here, iOgrapher Podcast. Super excited to be in front of the mic again today. It's 2 weeks in a row now, and really making an effort to do this every Sunday because I had a blast last weekend on the episode with Michelle and Phil Dozois. Lots of cool stuff. So today's show, though, we're back at school. I'm working on a bunch of back-to-school video training tutorials for everybody, and I thought I'd throw that into my podcast today because I get asked questions all the time, and it's just fantastic, and it's like I'm still teaching, but I'm not in the classroom, so it's kind of cool. So it's the first week, we're back at school, and what I usually did, had a great time doing, was getting the kids like hands-on, learning how to start shooting their projects. And there was nothing better in the world than doing what we called the shooting gallery. And looking back now, I'm not sure if I really like the name anymore because of all the shootings that are going on now. So we have to find a new word for it. It was actually developed by a good friend of mine, John Carippo. And John, if you're listening, I know you like hearing your name. And John is the Director of Academic Innovation at CUE, which is a big educational organization out on the West. I think they're nationwide, actually, but he's out on the West Coast. And if you ever get a chance, the CUE conference in Palm Springs is amazing to go to. And we will be there this year. I think it's in March. But that's CUE. So John Carippo, a good friend of mine, has developed this thing called the Shooting Gallery. And as teachers do, we steal from each other. And so I found this as a great way to teach my kids different shots so that then when they went out there, they made intelligent decisions of what they were going to shoot for the project that day. And if you just go to Google and you look up John, Jon Carippo, Corippo, and then type shooting gallery next to it, you'll come up, the first thing that comes up is his river. Let me see. Let me find it. I had it right here a second ago. And bear with me. It says Shooting Gallery Level 1 John Carippo SlideShare. So it's on SlideShare. So any of you can download it. It's fantastic. I highly, highly recommend it. It'll give you a couple of weeks worth of work, really, if you want to dive that deep into it. And so what it does is gives you a list of shots that should be in students' videos to get them away from shooting shots that are not framed correctly or that are blurry or things like that. It's 19 different shots, and you have to design and shoot and upload all your shots. You're not really looking for a storyline or whatever, although I make my kids do a storyline. I don't want just random things. But definitely you want a theme or a motif, and then you just edit it right on your iPad, and we like to do it. In fact, I'm doing a whole tutorial on this using Filmic Pro as our as our camera on the iPad and iPhone. And then I like to use Adobe Premiere Clip to do some quick edits and add titles. So it'll say like, this is a wide shot, or this is a whatever shot. So, and then we export it to, the kids can export it up to the Adobe Creative Cloud, which they all would have free accounts. And then they'd send me a link and I would be able to review it wherever I was. I could be on the beach. So it's a great workflow. So I highly recommend it. Let's see. So some of the shots inside of this thing, you'll see there's the basics. So there's the master establishing shot, the full or the wide shot, the medium shot. And what John has done here, it's been great. He's detailed what each shot means. Medium close-up, extreme close-up. As the scene develops, the camera moves closer. The close-up makes the character interaction more personal. So it really, really dives into the meat of the different shots. extreme angles, bird's eye view, low angles, depth staging, planar staging, pullback reveal, contract dolly, collapse dolly, point of view, dark voyeur. My kids loved shooting the dark voyeur. Dark voyeur is the classic horror or psychological thriller gimmick. Technique is used to evoke feelings of character in a film being watched. So it's just great. I love it, and we used to have fun doing that one. There's shadow shots, follow when you're following someone, like a tracking shot. Over the shoulder, which is a very common shot, doing it correctly. And it really gets into all that stuff, and it is fantastic. I mean, getting them to go out there, and then I would also tell them when they're doing their projects in the future, they needed to include these shots. Not all of them, but a certain percentage of them had to be these shots. So it really got them to learn about framing and how to frame everything. And so really, really enjoyed that. And that's John Carippo. And just type in, I'll put a link in the show notes for sure. But if you type in John Carippo shooting gallery, you'll find this, download it, print it, maybe make your own version of it by getting your kids to go shoot, and you can do your own PowerPoint with it. But it's under the Wikipedia Commons, and it's on the SlideShare, and he just loves that people use his stuff. So I highly recommend that. So that's my big back-to-school tip for this week. It'll keep you nice and busy. Your kids will love it. They'll learn how to work in teams. If you want, you can do individual. I had a 30-person classroom, so I do teams of 3 usually. So someone could shoot one scene, 2 people could be in it, whatever. And used to get some great stuff. So that was a lot of fun to do that for the first week of school. It gets everyone to know each other and get away from the shyness and things like that. So very cool stuff. I think we're going to talk about the app of the week. Let's go talk about that now.
It's time for the app of the week.
So as we're back in school, of course, the big thing is people are going to want to start streaming their games, streaming their events. There is nothing better, in my opinion, out there for educational purposes, for schools, than the Cube. It used to be called High School Cube. It is now the Cube. And I think the big reasoning behind that is that they saw that more than just high schools would want to use this. So it's a great service. So if you go to thecube.com, you can check it out. It's a free download for iOS and Android. And of course, we're using the iOS version. And what's awesome about it is that you can schedule your events. They've got a new feature now that you can actually download your favorite clips. So let's just say you go out there and you shoot this football game. And now the parents are subscribed to your stream, and they want to get Johnny's great clips that he had from the game. So they can select, watch the game, and then just press the clip button. And they of course have to have their own account, but it's free. And then they can pick and choose which clips they want. And then I think the new thing now with them is it's a 99-cent charge for them to download each clip that they want. But I mean, come on, for 99 cents, you're going to get a clip of a produced show of your son or your daughter playing a sport or being in a play or whatever. I mean, it's fantastic, and it's interesting because I hadn't been on my account for a while because I hadn't streamed with it since I retired from teaching. And it's funny because I'm going back to my old high school that I taught at and helping them stream the first week's football game because the new teacher's pretty new and doesn't understand it yet. But of course, the boosters really want this. So it's fun. It's you just schedule your stream, and then there's a lot that you can do within the app. You can add another iPad or iPhone. That could be the scoreboard. So you can add a scoreboard and time and distance and everything. So it really looks like a highly produced. You have the name of the teams on each side. It looks like something you could do, your mini ESPN. I mean, you're basically your own sports center. And what I really like about it is that there's so many settings that you can go out. You got a great Wi-Fi connection. You can stream in high definition, just beautiful. And then there's high definition plus. So if you really got a strong connection, you can do stuff like that. But if you're out on the road and maybe the school doesn't have such a, they don't have the neighboring school doesn't have a Wi-Fi for you, but maybe you're getting a good LTE connection. I mean, you could literally do this. It doesn't have to be the iPad. It could be your iPhone 6 Plus, for example, because that's what I have. I put it in my iOgrapher case, put it on my tripod, and now I can stream using the LTE and get a great picture. And then maybe let's say the LTE is still not good enough. It's not a strong enough signal out there. Well, you can go all the way down to audio. So you can have like an old days radio program. You're streaming the audio live, and people can still listen to it. And actually, I know a lot of people that actually preferred that. They said, "Did you watch the stream this week?" No, we listened to it though. We were in the walking around the house doing whatever, and we had a chance to listen to it. So, High School Cube, very simple to use and to get, and you can put it on all your computers. On all your on your iPads and iPhones, and of course they have an Android version. And get up and running and start streaming and having a blast. So. Very, very cool stuff with High School Cube. I'm actually doing a video tutorial today after this podcast is done, so I can get this up and running, and because I've had a lot of people ask about it. Speaking of ask, every Wednesday I am doing a live Meerkat show, and for those of you who don't know Meerkat, it is a live streaming app for your phone and your iPad or whatever. And what it does is just like you just press the button and you're live. So it connects to our Facebook page, it connects to Twitter, it alerts people that you're live and whatnot. And it's just a great way to interact with people, just to do a out of the blue a live show. So every Wednesday we're doing it on our Meerkat channel. So meerkatapp.com, I believe, and it's iOgrapher. All you got to do is download the Meerkat app and find us, iOgrapher, and you'll find us on there. You can also just go to our Facebook page at iOgrapher and facebook.com/iOgrapher, and you'll see a thing right there, a link that you just press, and you'll start seeing the stream. And on Twitter, we also announce on Twitter at iOgrapher. So every Wednesday, I sit here in my little studio and I answer questions, and I love it, and I love interacting with you guys and answering as much as I can. If I don't know something, I will do it later in a video tutorial. So get a lot of bang for your buck. It's completely free, of course. So I highly recommend it. I ask you guys to do a hashtag on Twitter. I'm about to choke. Do a hashtag on Twitter. Sorry, I had to take a drink. And hashtag will be Ask iOgrapher. And when I see the questions on there, you can also just post them in our Facebook page. But I'll see the questions. I make a big list. And on the day of the show, we go through all the questions. And the show is actually archived on Meerkat, so you can go out there and watch it later. But it's an awesome way to interact. Miami Dolphins are using it for their type of shows with during training camp right now. Just imagine interacting with your favorite. I mean, I would love if the Game of Thrones cast did a Meerkat every now and then, and just to have Khaleesi say my name and the mountain saying hello to me. I mean, I would be really happy. So, but I digress. I love using these Meerkat streams and talking to all of you out there. So please join us on Wednesdays, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are live, and we go as long as we have to, as long as the people are interacting. I just keep talking. So we have a good time. So that's it for this week. Wanted to talk to you about the shooting gallery. Download it. It is fantastic. A great way, and honestly, it's not just students. If you're a budding filmmaker or someone who just likes to go shoot good video, download this thing, check it out. It'll give you ideas for much better shots. And these are the kind of things they teach you in a film school that you don't need to go to film school anymore. So learn it on your own. Go out there and practice. So that's it for this week. I look forward to seeing you guys next week and on Meerkat on Wednesday. Dave Basulto, iOgrapher. Thanks for watching.
Thank you for listening to the iOgrapher podcast. Please subscribe and rate our show on iTunes. For comments or questions, please tweet us at iOgrapher or visit us on facebook.com/iOgrapher. iOgrapher Nation, get out there and create.